You are listening to the AI World Podcast, your trusted source for the latest innovations, insights, and trends in artificial intelligence, blockchain, fintech, and decentralized technologies. Each episode features expert interviews, engaging discussions, and in-depth analysis of how AI transforms industries worldwide. Stay ahead of the curve with the latest articles and exclusive reports from the AI World Journal, covering everything from emerging technologies to industry breakthroughs. For more news, global events, and access to AI World Society circle gatherings, visit us at aiworld.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to stay informed, stay connected, and be part of the AI revolution with AI World Lounge. Thank you for listening.
Welcome to The Deep Dive. We're the show that takes a whole stack of sources, articles, research, and really distills it down for you.
That's the goal.
And today, wow, we're plunging into something that's just been lighting up the headlines. Large language models. You know, LLMs.
Oh, yeah. GPT-4, Claude, Gemini, Grok. They're hard to miss.
Totally. These are the digital giants, right? Writing code, acing law exams, talking like us. It's pretty astonishing stuff. They've really shifted our view of what AI can do.
They absolutely have. And for a long time, the whole story in AI seemed to be bigger is always better. Just scale it up.
Right.
But while all the lights have been on those huge models, there's this other thing happening. Quieter, maybe, but really important. A revolution, you could say.
And that is exactly what we want to unpack today. We're here to dig into the real differences between those massive LLMs and these small language models, SLMs.
Exactly, SLMs.
We're going to explore why, in this fast-moving AI world, maybe smaller is actually smarter sometimes, especially thinking about things like efficiency, privacy, control.
Yeah, and this deep dive is drawing from some really sharp recent analyses. We've got insights from a leading AI and emerging tech educator, also an entrepreneur and author, plus a really detailed breakdown from AI World Journal. So good stuff to dig into.
Excellent. Okay, so let's start where most people's heads are at the LLMs. You've all seen the demos, read the articles. The capabilities are, frankly, awe-inspiring.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking systems with hundreds of billions, maybe even over 1 trillion parameters. I mean, that's basically the peak of what we can do right now with compute power, data, engineering.
It really is. They're built for massive scale, for general intelligence, like digital polymaths.
Yeah, it's a good term. And that scale, it's definitely shaped how we think about powerful AI.
Yeah. But
like you said, there's this counter-narrative building up around SLMs.
That's right. Think of SLMs as, well, compact, nimble AI systems. They aren't built to be the everything machine.
Right.
They're built for speed, for agility, precision, often with way fewer parameters. And the really cool part, they can run efficiently on your local device or on edge hardware.
Edge hardware. So like devices out in the world, not in a massive data center.
Exactly. Like your phone or a smart sensor at a factory or even in your car, close to where the data actually happens.
That feels like a pretty big shift because for years the idea was more parameters, better results, bigger is better. But our sources are saying this chase for scale, it has downsides.
Oh, absolutely. Huge downsides. The cost, first off. Training and just running these giant LLMs takes unbelievable amounts of computation.
Right.
This means massive energy use, a serious carbon footprint. And then there's the data aspect. Handling that much data raises real questions about security, about data sovereignty. Who controls it? Where is it?
Yeah, especially for businesses or governments, that's a major concern. It's resource heavy and maybe not sustainable long term.
Exactly. And this is where SLMs kind of flip the script. They're not trying to be universally intelligent at any cost. They prioritize efficiency, focus.
So designed for specific jobs.
Yes. Built to do specific tasks extremely well, but with limited resources. That means you can put them on your phone, on IoT gadgets, embedded systems, places where you maybe don't have constant cloud connection.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that smaller size directly leads to faster inference times. You know, how quick you get an answer back.
Lower power use too, presumably.
Much lower power use. And, really critically, better data privacy. Because often the sensitive stuff just stays right there on your device. It doesn't have to go up to the cloud.
That's huge. So, okay, where are we actually seeing these SLMs making a difference now? Like real-world examples?
Well, chances are you're interacting with them already and maybe don't even know it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, think about personalized assistants on your phone. The ones that learn your habits. Often that's SLM tech running locally. or real-time language translation on a wearable when you're traveling.
Ah, okay. Things where sending data back and forth to a giant LLM would be too slow or maybe too expensive.
Exactly. Too slow, too costly, or just overkill for the task.
And this is where it gets really interesting, according to our sources. SLMs seem to be unlocking new doors, especially in fields that have really tough requirements.
Yeah. Think healthcare, diagnostics maybe, or autonomous vehicles. They need instant, reliable processing.
Right. It can't have lag there.
No way. Or cybersecurity, complex factory automation, places where you need precision, reliability, and, importantly, very strict control over data.
So this kind of forces us to ask, what does smart even mean for AI anymore? It's not just about size, is it?
That's the core question SLMs are making us ask. It challenges that idea that intelligence is just raw scale. Maybe it's more nuanced.
Like doing the right thing, doing it fast, doing it well within certain limits.
Precisely. Being effective for the task at hand. It reminds me a bit of the smartphone revolution.
How so?
Well, smartphones changed everything, right?
No.
But they didn't need to be supercomputers. They just needed to be fast, focused, and fit for purpose, right there in our pocket.
That's a great analogy. It's a different way of valuing AI. Not just the biggest brain, but the right tool for the job.
Exactly. And maybe we can make that clear by looking directly at the key differences. LLM versus SLM, side by side.
Good idea. Let's nail that down. Parameters first. That's like the AI's brain size, roughly.
No, sort of, yeah. The connections it learns from. For LLMs, we're talking, what, 10 billion parameters on the low end, maybe? It's up to over 1 trillion. Massive numbers.
And SLMs?
Typically under 1 billion, often well under that. Some are even under 100 million. It's a completely different scale of complexity.
Okay, huge difference. And that difference obviously dictates what they're good at and not so good at. LLMs, their strength is that general purpose reasoning, right?
Yeah, tackling complex stuff across different areas, pulling from vast knowledge. You can ask them almost anything.
But the weaknesses,
Yeah.
we touched on them. Super expensive to train and run, slower if you try to run them locally, and that energy footprint.
Very energy and carbon intensive, yeah.
So flip side, SLMs, strengths, lightweight, fast.
Super fast.
Yeah.
Easily deployable on phones, laptops, IoT stuff like we said. Much cheaper to run. And that privacy advantage is key.
Makes sense. Weaknesses, though, they can't do everything an LLM can.
No, definitely not. Their scope is much narrower. They're less capable at really abstract general reasoning. And they often need specific fine-tuning, extra training for particular jobs.
Okay. So with this shift happening, this rise of the quiet powers, who's actually building these SLMs? Is it different players than the LLM giants?
That's what's interesting. You think of the big names, Meta with Llama, Google DeepMind with Gemini, Anthropic's Claude, xAI's Grok.
Yeah, the usual suspects.
Right. But many of those same players are investing heavily in SLMs too. Google has Gemma. Meta has versions of Llama that are smaller. Microsoft Research has Phi 3.
Phi 3 Mini, I've heard of that one. Trained on textbook quality data, right? Supposed to be smart, but small.
Exactly. Mobile ready. It shows you can get real intelligence in a compact package. And then there's the open source world, which is hugely important here.
Like Mistral.
Mistral 7B is a prime example. It's open source, super efficient, and punches way above its weight, often beating bigger models on specific benchmarks. It proves more parameters isn't always the answer.
And you mentioned Google's Gemma, and didn't they have Gemini Nano too?
Yes. Gemini Nano is what's running things like smart replies directly on the newer Pixel phones. That's pure on-device SLM action.
Right there in your pocket. And Apple's rumored to be doing something similar for iOS 18, focusing on privacy.
Seems to be the direction. It shows SLMs aren't just theoretical. They're already being deployed in consumer tech.
So if we tie this back, it really changes the game for personalization, doesn't it? LLMs are trained to be generalists. Making them truly personal is tricky.
It is. It often requires extra layers, like reinforcement learning from human feedback or external memory systems. It's not inherently personalized.
But SLMs, this sounds like their sweet spot.
Absolutely. They excel here. You can take an SLM and fine-tune it, really customize it for super specific niches.
Like,
think about understanding healthcare compliance rules for a specific region, or diagnosing issues on a particular type of industrial machine. Very specialized knowledge.
or those on-device assistants we mentioned, for learning, maybe therapy apps, AR/VR experiences.
Exactly. All while keeping user data private, potentially working offline or in places with bad internet. That's something an LLM often just can't do. It wouldn't fit, or it would crash the party with resource demands.
Okay, let's make this concrete. Use case showdown. Deep legal or medical research.
LLM, clear yes. Needs that deep, broad reasoning. SLM is probably a no, too narrow.
Right. Customer support chatbot.
Could be both. LLM is versatile, maybe overkill, definitely costly. SLM could be great for common questions, FAQs, narrower tasks. Efficient. So SLM gets a check mark there too.
Okay. Embedded smart devices, like a smart thermostat or sensor.
LLM, definitely no. Way too big and power hungry. SLM, that's a big YS. Optimized for local processing.
Language translation.
Both can do it. LLM gives you tons of languages, context. SLM is good for maybe fewer languages, specific jargon, or on-device needs. So both get a check, depending on the need.
How about education? Tutoring apps.
Again, potentially both. LLM can be very adaptive, cover broad subjects. SLM could power really specialized learning apps, maybe focusing intensely on one skill or subject.
Interesting trade-offs. And this all connects back to the bigger picture things like energy use and control.
Right. The AI world is really starting to reckon with the environmental cost of LLMs. Training GPT-4 reportedly took millions of GPU hours.
Millions. And that's just training. Running them day to day keeps gobbling up resources.
It does. SLMs, in contrast, offer a path towards more sustainable AI, better energy efficiency, decentralized deployment, that AI runs closer to you, not always in a giant server farm.
And that ties into sovereign AI, that idea of keeping data local.
Exactly. We're seeing governments, big companies leaning towards using SLMs that can run on their own premises, gives them much tighter control over sensitive data, keeps it in-house.
So after all this, what's the final verdict? Is it LLMs versus SLMs? Who wins?
Well, the conclusion from our sources, and I think it makes a lot of sense, is that it's not versus S, it's and.
LLM and SLM, a hybrid future.
Exactly. They have complementary roles. LLMs will likely continue to dominate the cloud, doing the heavy lifting for general intelligence, complex research, large-scale creativity.
While SLMs handle the edge.
Yeah, living on our devices in specific systems, providing secure, fast, efficient, and really personalized intelligence right where we need it, often working behind the scenes.
I like the analogy you mentioned earlier. If the LLM is the brilliant university professor.
Right. Deep knowledge across everything.
Then the SLM is like your personal tutor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Always available, laser focused on what you need right now, super efficient, tailored just for you.
So the big takeaway really is bigger isn't always better.
That sums it up perfectly. The AI revolution needs both. It needs the powerful generalists and the efficient specialists to truly flourish.
Okay, so here's something for you, the listener, to mull over. As AI gets woven even more tightly into our lives, how might your everyday interactions with AI change? Especially as these, smaller, smarter, maybe more ethical models become that quiet, constant presence in your phone, your car, your environment. What does that future feel like?
The future of artificial intelligence is unfolding, and it's happening at AI World Week, the flagship global event for innovation, collaboration, and transformation. This flagship global AI event is designed to connect visionary leaders, trailblazing entrepreneurs, and influential thinkers to explore the endless possibilities of AI. Experience groundbreaking technology that redefines industries and inspires progress. Join thought-provoking discussions on ethical AI, digital equity, and the transformative role of technology in our world. Build meaningful connections that catalyze innovation and drive impact. AI World Week is powered by AI World Society, a global movement dedicated to advancing AI responsibly and ensuring it serves humanity. Together, we're shaping a smarter, more inclusive, and equitable future. Continue your journey beyond the event with the AI World Journal, offering expert insights, in-depth analysis, and the latest trends shaping the AI landscape. This is your opportunity to lead, to innovate, and to transform the world with AI. AI World Week. We invite you to join us and embrace the AI revolution.